Mark Medina-Barry in this group.
No questions? Okay.
What have you gotten from Pat and his representatives on where things stand with him?
So Mark asked about Pat McCaw, where things stand. We're continuing to talk to his representatives. Conversations have been cordial. We've been talking for most of the summer. We're going to keep talking. Hopefully we reach a resolution that works for him and us. Love to get him here, and that's the plan now, to keep working in that direction.
Your bench was a concern. Do you feel like going into this year you address that concern?
I don't know. I hope so. Every year we try to have the best starting lineup we have, best team we can make. It's an interesting team. It's different because sometimes our starters play with the bench, so our bench production suffers as far as, at least numerically. We don't have a highly productive bench statistically, but sometimes the bench includes Klay Thompson or Kevin Durant. When Cousins gets back, it'll be interesting to see how we use him. But the point is I think we've got a good team. We've got a capable team. Steve does a great job of finding the right roles for guys. So yeah, I think it doesn't really matter what I say today, but I think we got a pretty good team.
Great. Connor, front row, middle.
Bob, with things kind of in flux with Pat, how do you evaluate the back end of this roster? Are you guys trying to fill that 15th spot this preseason, or are you open to keeping that open going forward?
Well, historically, we've carried 15 for most of the season. We've done a couple buyouts and signed guys in the past where we've had to cut a guy. We've done that the last couple years, or 2 of the last 3. The idea might be different this year. We might carry 14 going into the season and see what develops. Obviously, we want to give Steve the best chance to win and give our players the most depth we can. So we're going to have quite a few guys in camp. We'll take a look at them. The NBA's two-way rule allows us to utilize that. We did that with Quinn Cook last year, and it was good for us, which is nice. So we'll see. We haven't had that kind of flexibility. Like I said, in the past, we've carried 15. This year, I think we'll go into the season with 14. But it's hard to say who exactly that will be at the end of the roster.
Janie over here on my right.
You said last week you might have an update on DeMarcus, that he was going to be reevaluated by Dr. Ferkel. What do you know in terms of the timeline, and how encouraged are you by that reevaluation?
Well, all indications are that he is progressing well. He's doing a lot of work. He's even doing some work out on these are basketball courts that we're sitting on right here. So he's doing work out here, and he looks good. I think he's on schedule. What that schedule will probably be predicated on how he does when he starts going full speed. He's not able to go full speed yet, but he's going to get in some drills, the ones he can, non-contact type stuff. We'll probably reevaluate him, and Raymond will probably let everybody know in about 4 weeks with another update on where he's at. But I know there's been a narrative that we're going to save DeMarcus for the playoffs. I think that's inaccurate. When he can play, he'll play. We won't rush him, but we also won't hold him back. We need time for him to acclimate. We need to acclimate to him. But it's an exciting thing to be able to look forward to for our whole team.
Any other questions for Bob?
Bob, given Pat's situation, what kind of, backup plans do you have to consider in the event that he does not end up here?
Well, he plays the wing position, so we have to probably examine all the different wing possibilities. There's veterans, there's guys that we'll have in camp, combination of that. Again, the primary hope is that we can get him here. My job is to give, like I said, the coach and the organization the best team we can. So that if that requires something else, that's what we'll have to do. Our focus is to not do that. But we are probably wing heavy going into camp with the idea that we need depth there anyway. I don't think we've got 6 centers this year, which I didn't mind as much as other people did. But anyways, we'll see what happens. But it'll be a good chance to evaluate these next couple weeks.
Front row, Mark here.
Hey Bob, given the Warriors' obvious string of success these last few years, what do you think will help keep the guys motivated during these long stretches during the kind of monotonous time of the season?
I think last year we talked a lot about how hard repeating was going to be, and it was hard. And I think Steve and I spoke, and I think he'll tell you when he's up here, I think we're going to try to move off that narrative as far as how hard this all is, and it is hard, and rare for us to try and do it again. Raymond's telling me it hasn't gone, no team's gone to the finals in 60 years or something crazy, 5 times I guess. But anyways, we're going to try to enjoy it. I know that sounds simple, but the goal is going to be to enjoy this journey this year. All of it, the highs, the lows, the in-between. And if you enjoy going to work, and you're talented, and you're in a good culture, hopefully good things come of that. So Steve's good at that. Steve's a great captain to lead us in the right direction. He's got a great pulse of what the team needs.
Far left side, Tim.
Bob DeCalc on The Athletic. How do you view this coming year with Durant also signs a 1-year deal? There's going to be conversation about it, maybe more so as a Warrior going into free agency than you've ever had. Do you view, Joe mentioned maybe this is like a re-recruiting. Do you sense this is going to be a re-recruitment of Kevin Durant?
Well, I think for any player, and having had a history as an agent, I think what players want, in my experience, is they want to get paid fairly, they want to win, and they want to like going to work, just like all of us. Same thing we all want. We want to be successful, we want to make fair money, and we want to have fun. That's our job, to create an environment for our players. And I think we do a pretty good job of that. But yeah, Kevin Durant, for me as a basketball fan, to get to watch him just practice is a treat, is a treasure. What we're experiencing right now, I have to remind myself, this is such a rare time for our organization to have this kind of talent. Just for me to go to our games, forget about being the GM of the team, to watch our team practice and play, to watch Steph Curry shoot on this basket. I'm gonna remember that stuff for the rest of my, to watch Kevin Durant and Steph Curry right here do a shooting drill. I mean, I don't take any of that for granted. But in regards to players staying here and wanting to be here, that's all we can control. But Kevin, I hope Kevin's here. I hope he plays till he's 50. So he's fantastic. Obviously, what he's done for us, what I hope he continues to do, goes without saying. But whether it's him or anybody else, we've got other free agents too. We just want to make it an environment where they want to come back to us. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
Great. Front row, Anthony.
You guys announced a bunch of promotions and hirings today. I was just curious, about the Mike Dunleavy decision, how that came to be, and then the specifics of some of the promotions.
We promoted, I think David Kelly was in a separate release. He's our capologist, but he's got a better title than that, Chief Legal Officer. But everything's so sophisticated now from a business standpoint. We have to understand the revenues of our organization in relation to what we can spend on our players. It's all interconnected. David is fantastic at that. We did promote quite a few people. Some people moved on to different organizations, which we wish them well. That's always going to happen in the NBA. We've done a lot. Dunleavy, we've been a little short in pro scouting. Pro scouting is someone that sees NBA games in person. For me, it may seem like I see a lot of the NBA, but I might only see an Eastern Conference team once when we play them here at home. That's not enough to truly evaluate the player in a trade. Even in free agency, you want to have a better understanding of who you're signing. If you've watched him 15 times live and I've watched him once, well, your opinion is probably going to be more weighted than mine. So a lot of teams are more getting involved in pro scouting. We've got some great college scouts as well. So that's the impetus behind him. We want to grow organically. We want to reward our people, and we want to keep hiring good people.
Front row, left side, Marcus.
There are a couple guys on your roster, I can't think of their names, but they're due for big extensions.
Who's that?
Their names escape me. One of them is a Thompson. Where are those negotiations stand? Are you currently is that out and you're going to go into the season, or is there any talks for extension with either of those two?
Yeah, we've talked to both of those two. I think we've got a window till the 31st. Again, and any negotiation has to work for both sides. But those two players, those are guys that you want to keep in your organization, along with a guy like Kevin Durant. I mean, those guys, you do what you can to retain them. But you also want to treat them fairly, and they want to get what they're worth. So that's what you have to work towards. And I think we've got great dialogue. Where it'll end up, I don't wholly know right now. But if it works for them or works for us, we'd be happy to go that direction.
Final one from Mark.
Mark Spears, undefeated. Do you feel like this team is rested and there's no overseas trip this time? And also, what do you lose in the locker room sense with David West not coming back?
Well, are we rested? We better be, right? We're starting tomorrow. Talking to some of the players this offseason, I think people went away, Mark, more than ever. I would talk to other GMs over the last couple of weeks, and their players were in working out. And part of me thought, why shouldn't our guys be here? But I think it was healthy. It's been 4 years for a lot of them of a pretty short offseason. But they know each other well. I mean, I'm sure they're reconnecting in there right now. It's a pretty tight-knit group, and so it's interesting having had the experience of going to the finals for 4 years. It gives you an ability to maybe find a rhythm in all of it. So I think they're going to come with a good energy, and I think it's still a greedy team. They still want to keep winning, and that's pretty powerful. David is irreplaceable. David's one of the best people I've ever met. You cannot. People like that just don't come along that often. So we will miss him dearly. I hope he comes around. I think he's going to stay in the area. I hope he comes by practices or a few games. But we were fortunate to have David West here for 1 day, let alone 2 years. And I'm so happy that what we were able to give him in return was a couple championships. Because that guy's a guy that deserves to have championships.
Great, thank you. We'll have Coach Durant here in a couple minutes.
Thanks.